Fishing Fanatics. So bringing you yet another video, an update video. We did the updated fish room tour. You've seen kind of our new setup with some of the tanks. We did pick up some more substrate. So the 55s that we have, I'm going to build out a new stand to go over in this corner, and you can see kind of our mess, but there's going to be another stand over there, another 55 in that corner. That'll be coming up soon, hopefully. But we have enough substrate now for all of the tanks. We have just a couple more things we need to pick up, odds and ends, and then we'll have pretty much every tank running that are going to be suitable for a fish or any other type of aquatic life we choose at this point. If you haven't already watched the other videos, I would strongly suggest checking them out so you don't miss anything. There's over 100 videos on our channel. It took some months, and I know I've been gone for a few months, but we're back hopefully in full force now. Video a week. Sometimes we'll do a couple more if we can. But anyways, let's get into it. You guys have seen all of the newer fish that we had from the other side over there. So here's basically what's been going on. We have Kohaku swordtails that these guys will be going into the 55 over here once it's completely done. It's still running, still haven't put anything in there. But we have everything ready for it to go. We just need to get the substrate in there. And since I gutted it, scraped it down, we cleaned it completely out to kill all bacteria that was in there. It needs to completely cycle again before we do anything. But the plan is for these guys to go into that tank. They may change, things always do, but as of right now, that's the plan. We want these guys to go in there. This tank is fully cycled, heated, and filtered. It is ready for shrimp. As you can see, there's food on the bottom. We did have some fish down here before, but because the temperature of this tank seems to always run really, really low, I cannot seem to get it over like 75, 76 for whatever reason. We're just gonna use this as the shrimp tank, which was what it was intended for anyways. That way there's no more issues or concerns, and it's done. We have our plant tank here, which is just our holding tank for plants. There's a bunch of, you can see duckweeds in there, water sprites in there, there's a little bit of Java moss in there. That needs to be cleaned up, but we have a little mixture of kind of everything in here. We had some ferns in here as well, but this is all going to get sorted out. These are some of the extra plants that we just don't really have room for, or we felt were too small at the time to put into a tank. So we're just kind of letting them float in here and grow out, and this also helps with the water too. But you can see like some of this Java moss is kind of dead, so we'll have to pull that out. But there's a lot of water sprite and stuff that we have, but that's just a grow out tank essentially for plants, like I said. This one we haven't done anything with yet. Again, there's no substrate, but we're gonna get either Eagle Complete or we're gonna get some sand for these, because these will be shrimp tanks as well. This one has shrimp in it. They're mostly buried underneath of the Java moss. They're not very social. This was the tank that was upstairs originally. If you haven't seen that, feel free to check it out. It had blossomed upstairs. We brought it down here and it kind of put itself on hold. There are still a lot of shrimp in here, but there's nowhere near the amount we had before. And as you can see, the Java moss has kind of exploded compared to what it used to look like. And again, we have the empty tank down there, but we're gonna reevaluate this tank as well, and kind of go through and see what's going on in here and why it's having issues. It shouldn't, but it is. They're still living and they're still doing what they need to do, but they're not really breeding the way we were expecting them to. So, or as, like they were at least. So we'll be reevaluating that too. But here's our other tank of koi swords. Again, these were juveniles that are fry that had grown to juveniles. And you can see there's still some little ones in here from a more recent batch that we had. I think there's 3 of them in here or 4. But most of them are pretty well good size now that we could bring in and would start to breed if needed. The majority of these are females, and if you notice, we have no males in here right now for a reason. So we'll have to look at that and see what's going on, but we're keeping a male out right now. Plus we got these Indian whisker shrimp is what they're called, kind of hanging out with them too. There's I think 5 or 6 of them in here. These suckers are huge, but they help keep the tank clean as well. So we have those in there. There's quite a few of them to help just filter through, and you can see that the tank bottom is pretty clean. So, and there's of course Java moss in there. Eventually we will either move these guys completely out, or we may just toss the male in there and let them do their thing and put some more cover in there for them and let this become another koi tank, but not entirely sure yet. So we'll figure that out when the time comes. But we have the tank down here. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. These are the convicts that we had plus our pea puffer, which you can see. As soon as we put other fish in here with him, because he was in here by himself for quite some time, once we put some other fish in here with him, he became a lot more active and a lot more social and was out cruising around, and it was really nice to see. But you can see down here we have our convicts, and there's 6 of those in here. And you see 5 to 6 ones usually hiding. It's a little bit smaller, but they're all doing pretty well. There's some little pipe in there for caves if they want them. If they so choose, it's up to them. But just something for them to hide in. There's a lot of plant life in here too that they can dart in and out of, which they do. So that was pretty fun. This was another tank that had cherry shrimp in it, and will again soon. We had, I don't know how many in here. We decided to pull them out and put them back into the other tank to help with the colony in there. But we're gonna get this one going again as well pretty soon. This tank has substrate in it, so does this one. We're looking to get heaters in these 2 tanks because they're completely cycled and ready to go. All we would need to do is put heaters in here, temp them, and they're good. Water change, they're ready to rock. So those ones are already set up. It's just a matter of getting a couple of heaters for them and then going from there. And then of course the last tank on this side is where we have the Celestial Pearl Daniels that we picked up as juveniles. They were extremely small. They're coloring up now. They're doing really well. We picked up 6 more of these. Surprisingly, we got them at an auction for next to nothing. I don't think people knew what they were because they had them listed under a different name. So we got these guys and we put them in here. There's also velvet blue shrimp or blue velvet shrimp in here as well, which you can see right there. There's probably 15 or so in here. So we're hoping that'll help start a pretty strong colony. We had quite a few, 2 or 3 buried out of what we had. So you can see that there's a flat of grass in there that we picked up from one of the swaps. So there's another one too. These guys are all over in here. Like I said, there were some buried ones, so we're hoping to have this colony going pretty strong within the next couple months. We'll see how that all plays out. And then last but not least, we have the 72 gallon, which has progressed from its infancy, and you can see where we started when we got this tank, how empty it looked, what it looked like, the setup of it, and you can see where it's at now, which is, it's come a huge distance from where we initially got it. This thing is just, to me, this is definitely one of the display tanks that we have because of just the sheer volume of work that has gone into it, and Jess has made sure to keep it as simple as she could with what she wanted. There's diamond tetras in here, which you can see swimming around right there. There's serpes. We have the blue, I can't remember the name of them. They're blue something. There's the rasboras, as you can see kind of over there. We also have black skirt tetras. We have bloodfin tetras, and I believe that's it right now, aside from, of course, our blue and turquoise discus, which we have 2 of them. This one's mostly the one that likes to showboat and come out. Every time we're down here, you know, he's out swimming around in front of us, looking to see what's going on, very active, very social. No issues whatsoever. We have another one that's in here as well that likes to hide back behind this rock. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to get him today, but yeah. Feeding time, they come out, but likes to just kind of chill back there by himself and just hang out, not really do a whole lot, so it's fine. But you can see this one's doing really well. So this is the second discus. We bought them together and they went in here, and this tank is done in terms of stocking. We're not putting any more in here. We have, I think, 5 bloodfin tetras, 5 serpes, 5 rasboras, 6 of the, I wish I could remember the name of them. They're blue something, but they look like miniature dolphins, basically. They're really cool. Then we have 5 of the diamonds. So, I mean, we have a really good stock. There's like close to 30 fish in here. Being a 72 gallon, the fact that most of these stay pretty small, and to take into consideration, again, all the plant life that's in here, this tank doesn't really usually need a whole lot of work. It's water changes mostly, because there's absolutely nothing on there. We also have 2 cories in here, or 3 cories in here, excuse me. I can't remember which they are, but they're like they're a blackfin variety, and you can kind of see, let me see if I can zoom in. You can kind of see them there. There's one of the 3. Thank you. Oh, the other discus came out. There's both of the discus. Sorry, sidetrack, shiny. Here's the other one. But anyways, they're a blackfin variety. We have 3 of those in here, as well as, I believe, 2 bristlenose. So the tank's bottom stays extremely clean. Looks really good. The tank overall, we usually do a water change on it and it's good to go. We don't have to do a whole lot. This tank is pretty well set. So it's just a lot of plant life and a lot of activity, and it's a huge communal tank. No issues whatsoever in here. These guys swim around freely. They do what they want. You can see there's fish covering virtually every portion of the tank, which is something I like to see if you're really into the hobby and you're looking for a good communal tank or a good display tank. That's kind of what you want. You want some, low levels and some mid levels and some high levels, and some that just kind of do what they do. The blues tend to stay out towards the top. The serpes and the diamonds tend to stay towards the middle. The black skirts kind of go wherever they want to go. Plus we got the cories and the bristles for the bottom, and of course the discus, which is gorgeous. He's a good size too, but that's kind of what you're looking for in a communal display tank. Just activity everywhere, so you have that full effect. When people walk in, no matter where they look, they'll see something going on, which has made this one of the prized possessions that we have right now for personal tanks. So, but that's really about it. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please drop in the box below. Let me know. As always, we are open to suggestions. If you haven't already, please hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Let's get these videos around and get some more people in the fish keeping hobby. And as always, happy fish keeping.